Just when you thought you were ready to paint something, this is why you go over stuff and go over stuff and go over stuff. Alright folks, I'm back. Took a couple of days off. Got my head straight, went to a few car shows. I posted up some videos for you on those shows, and I appreciate you watching. They got a lot of likes, a lot of views. So, but it's time to get back into some shop work, show you what's going on. So, I'm back in the paint booth. I've got the 55 behind me over here. Show you that in a minute. Got some few touch-ups we're gonna do to the body work, and then we're gonna dive right into priming over some of the direct-to-metal areas that I sanded through when I was blocking it, some of the body work that I repaired while I blocked it, and then we're gonna go right back over all that with a sealer, base coat, and then the clear coat. It's not a how-to video, it's just what's going on in the shop. You guys like to keep up with me, so start keeping up. Here we go. As you can see, I've gone around pretty much the entire truck about 7 or 8 times, it seems like, with primer, blocking, sanding, primer, blocking, sanding. And for a sandblasted truck, this thing is in great shape. That was way too painful to show on video. But after 30 minutes, I got both doors off by myself. And that's after I removed all of the bolts. For some reason, they slide right in, but when they come out, they wanna kind of do that. It's pretty much towards the end of the day. I'll probably be working tonight. And I just get this thing painted tomorrow. So let me see how much further I can go. Yep, I'm still sanding. I'm working the door jambs. Something that most of the people will never see, but I'll see it and it needs to be right. There's that British Racing green, a little bit better shot that I can see that I'm showing you. Before I put the dash together, I may need to wet sand and buff it out really good. I got that jam all sanded, a little bit more, and a few little touch-ups here and there, and we're looking good. All right, last little bit of body work. Went ahead and wiped that down in there just to get rid of a few of the spot welds from the factory. All right, so right now I've got a red Scotch-Brite, and I'm going over some of the areas that I did not block the last time. They've already been blocked 2 or 3 times, and they're ready to go. But I've got to break the seal on this primer so that the new primer will stick to it. So I'm going over it with a red Scotch-Brite, as I mentioned, and I've got a little pad underneath it. Anywhere you can get the pad, you want to try to use it to keep from getting cornrows. And cornrows, what I've talked about before, your fingers are laid out like this and you're pushing on this and you're actually putting grooves in the primer, and you won't see them until you start putting on color, and that's when it's too late. So try to keep a pad underneath it. If you're in an area that you can't use a pad, like these grooves here, that right there is all you need. Just a little bit of pressure with it rolled up, and it gets in that groove right there. But try not to get in on your other surface. You may have to get you a little bit more of an angle. Just don't want to get any cornrows on anything. But anyway, let me get this knocked out. I gotta do the whole truck and see if there's any places that I need to address one more time. But we're not gonna put any guide coat on it. We've already done that 2 times. So let me get this done, and then we'll move on to the next step. Just when you thought you were ready to paint something, this is why you go over stuff and go over stuff and go over to be able to feel this, or you're not going to be able to see this, but I can feel it running my hand a certain direction, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. You can see the Bondo, bare metal, bare metal, bare metal, a little bit of Bondo. Right there in the middle of all of this is a low spot. Now, it may not look bad and I can barely feel it, but as soon as this truck is shiny and buffed, it's gonna look just like somebody put their hand right there. And it's just a low spot that I missed. Probably tap that down just a hair and wipe this area right here and just add a little bit more time to it. But guys, this is why you don't give up. This is why you work so hard and block stuff over and over and over, because you don't want this to show up after it's painted. There's nothing you can do to it. All right, folks, I'm fixing to get started, going around and wiping down with wax and grease. Get another towel. Try to catch stuff as I go. Wipe it down with one hand. What that rag doesn't get, the other rag might. Still looking for any bad spots. Sorry about the air hose in the background. Getting all the little nicks and crannies, just making sure that there's not any standing build up in there. So this is what I've learned doing it over the years. Detail. Got to get clean. I touch this truck all over, so it has to stay clean. All right, y'all missed the taping up part, but there wasn't really much to tape up. I taped up the front windshield area and the dash. Dash has already been painted. I'm going back over all the door jambs and stuff, so they've all been scuffed down. Going back over the back cab a little bit with some sealer and also some paint. And the floor is covered up because I don't want dust to blow up on it. I've already blown the truck out yesterday. If you're gonna paint, you wanna make sure that you do all of your blowing out the day before. That way the dust has got time to settle and it's not gonna come back up in your paint when you're spraying. You wanna blow all in the door jambs and all the air, all the pockets. And then on top of that, the pockets have already been painted once. So I stuffed a rag down in there and that kind of diffuses the air a little bit and keeps it from blowing back out up under the dash. Go back around all of your holes where your mounting stuff is and go ahead and get you a step drill bit and kind of ream them out a little bit so that you don't have to do it later when you've got paint on it. But anyway, at this stage, I've already waxed and grease removed it. Cleaned it. I'm going to go around it with a tack cloth and then I'm going to spray the primer in the areas that need the primer, and then we're going to let that flash out, and then I'm going to mix up some sealer, come back and seal it, and then let that flash out and give it about an hour, 30 minutes or so on the primer. Then the sealer, probably about 20 or 30 minutes because it's kind of cool today. And then I'm gonna hit it with the base and the clear. So wish me luck. I'll put it on time lapse and let you see some of what's going on, and we'll talk about it as we go. Hey folks, well, you just saw me prime the Chevy pickup truck. It got a little fuzzy on the roof. It was a little hotter on the, as I stepped up 3 feet to paint the roof, and got a little fuzzy up there. So I'm gonna wet sand that. The product that I used is a high build primer, and a sealer. And the way I mixed it as in between the primer and the sealer. I added 1% reducer to it, so it went down pretty smooth except for the top. So my choices here are to dry sand it and seal it, or just go ahead and wet sand it with 500. So that's what I'm gonna do this afternoon, is wet sand it with 500. If I can bring you some of that on the footage, I will. If not, I'll probably go ahead and post this video tonight, and then tomorrow I will go ahead and paint the cab, and then I'll post that video up and let you see how it turned out. So as always, thanks for watching. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for all you do. Let me know what you think about what we've done so far on all the videos and this particular truck. But hey, if you're through watching and it's not too late, get out in the garage and go build something. Till next time, thanks for watching.